So, good evening. Welcome to a captivating journey into the world of ChatGPT and AI, hosted by Virginia Tech India. I'm Shrikant Nambia, Manager of Marketing and Operations at Virginia Tech India. I'll be your host for today's exciting session. And I'm thrilled to see all our distinguished speakers, guests, and participants gathered here this evening. Let's start this exhilarating masterclass with a warm welcome to our Deputy Director, Ms. Rangapriya Gautam, and my amazing colleagues at Virginia Tech India. So before we delve into the wonders of AI, let me share a bit about Virginia Tech, which is a public land grant research university. At Virginia Tech, we are not just an educational institution. We are pioneers redefining the intersection of education and technology. Our vibrant campus in Blacksburg, Virginia is home to 9 colleges and a graduate school, offering over 110 undergraduate majors and 120 master's and doctoral programs. With 38,000 students, a 13:1 student faculty ratio, and a sprawling campus encompassing 221 buildings across 2,600 acres, including an airport. We are a powerhouse of innovation and academic excellence. But what truly sets us apart is the unwavering commitment to our motto, Ut Prosim, that I may serve, inspiring us to collaborate across boundaries to address global challenges and make a tangible difference in the world. Artificial intelligence is no longer a concept of future. It's a part of a present impacting industries from healthcare to finance. One of the most fascinating advancements in AI is ChatGPT, developed by OpenAI, which has revolutionized the way we interact with machines. Today, we'll explore the depths of AI and ChatGPT and understand how these technologies are shaping our world. As we embark on this enlightening journey, I request everyone to mute your microphones to maintain decorum throughout the session. We have an exciting Q&A lined up after the masterclass, where you'll have a chance to unmute and interact with our esteemed faculty members. Plus, keep an eye out for an engaging poll that may spice up the special sessions and help us to understand your interests better. So, to begin with, let's start with the poll 1. As we said, let's see what the response is and see how people are interested. Gayatri, can you just start the first poll of the knowledge level? Yeah. You able to do that? Okay. Somehow I'm not able to see in the screen.
We answered also.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. You can stop it, and I think you can share it with the parts with the speakers, so they know what is the knowledge level right now with all the people and what they're interested to learn. Okay. You able to share it, Gayatri? Okay, thank you. Okay. So to begin with, Gayatri, can you just open the next slide where we introducing the speakers? You're on mute. Yeah, go to the next slide. Thank you. Okay. Now let me introduce our stellar lineup of speakers who will guide you on this adventure. Our first speaker is Mr. Vinod Harith, with over 30 years of marketing leadership across IT, automotive, FMCG, and educational industries. Vinod brings extensive expertise. He founded and recently exited CMO Access. Previously, he led global marketing communications from Wipro Technologies and held senior roles at iGate, Hyundai, SSI, and Medimix. Vinod mentors at Stanford Seed and advising startups on marketing and GTM strategies. Our next guest speaker, Mr. Rushikesh Sande, who is also in hockey, is the Director of Infrastructure at Walter P. Moore Engineering India, has nearly 25 years of global experience in project engineering and management. for water infrastructure projects across the US, UK, Middle East, and India. He oversees civil engineering, traffic, water, and road services, focusing on real estate, hospitality, aviation industry, and public work sector. Rishikesh holds a master's in civil engineering from Virginia Tech and is a licensed professional engineer in Texas, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and a USGBC lead accredited professional. Rishikesh brings a unique perspective on leveraging technology to build sustainable communities. Our next speaker is Ms. Rashmi Murthy, a seasoned brand strategy and content marketing leader with over 20 years of expertise, known for driving 5x brand growth through innovative digital marketing strategies, specializing in brand strategy, GTM strategy, digital marketing, content marketing, governance, analytics, marketing segmentation, campaign management, and social media marketing. Rashmi will unveil the secrets behind driving exponential growth through innovative digital strategies. And now we have a session speaker, Mr. Narayan Swamy, with over 25 years of experience in transforming complex data into actionable insights and pioneering innovative strategy. He has established himself as a leader in the field, specializing in establishing data practices, implementing AI ML solutions, and managing multi-dollar projects in the banking sector. He has demonstrated his expertise time and again, proficient in GDPR, data governance, and site reliability engineering. He focuses on cloud data analytics and data transformation. Narayan Swamy will unravel the mysteries of transforming complex data into actionable insights, setting the stage for the future powered by AI. Now, we are excited to learn from such a distinguished panel of experts. Without further ado, let's begin our masterclass on ChatGPT and AI. Please join me in welcoming our guest, our first guest, Mr. Vinod Harip. Mr. Vinod Harip, over to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's my absolute pleasure. Thank you, Priya, for having me over. I'm here to sort of do a context setting and sort of share my experiences. It's been 30 years in marketing, and what has changed now with AI. I want to bring some perspective on that and sort of set the ground for further discussions by the team. So key thing is, from where I stand, right, and many years I've been in marketing, I've always found that marketing has traditionally been a late adopter in tech. Marketers usually catch up on tech. They're not the first. Sorry, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are audible. Audible.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Fine.
Just put your
Thank
slide.
you so much. Okay. So marketing has traditionally been a late adopter in adopting tech, essentially. And as recently as about 10, 12 years back, I know we were struggling to set up CRM tools and all of that in our organizations. But a lot of that has changed very, very quickly with AI. So two things that have happened in parallel, I think, in the last 4 or 5 years. One is the adoption of SaaS. So SaaS has, in a big way, helped the marketers to get on the tech game because it's made it so easy for them to get in, learn, and deploy marketing technology tools in marketing without too much of support and too much of tech knowledge. So that's one thing that's happened. And what AI has done is accelerated this whole thing in a big way and sort of become a game changer. And the amount of tech knowledge that you need has really, really come down. So it's like, if I look at it today, people like me, I'm not a digital native. And still, I'm able to get in and use very, very complex AI tools today because they are very, very simple to use. So we are today in a generation where you really don't even know, you don't need to code, you don't even need to sort of go through steps in making things happen. You just, for example, if I need an image from ChatGPT, all I need to do is tell ChatGPT that, I need an Indian lady wearing a hat, standing outside this store, whatever, and it actually gives me an image what I need. So it's sort of dumbed down the whole thing of needing tech to be efficient in marketing. And there are some tools, very, very innovative tools like Seamless, which gives you Seamless.ai is one of the tools I recently used, and it's amazing. The kind of insights you're able to get. So what Seamless does is it has something called intent-based data. So you can actually, if you're looking for, let's say, somebody to buy a specific set of solutions, let's say HR solutions, all you need to do is go and tell Seamless that you are looking for people who are looking to buy HR services and give it a set of keywords, and it'll actually give you data that of companies and people that are looking to buy HR solutions. Of course, it's not 100% accurate, as AI, it's still learning. It's not what AI was about 5 years back. What we see today, a huge change. And I think in the next 1 year, it will become much, much more efficient. But even today, the kind of insights that you get, the information you get from tools like Seamless are amazing. So that is one part of it. The second is it has actually made marketing more efficient. The kind of work that you used to do with 20 different people can now be done with about 25% of that workforce. Not to say that we are cutting jobs or whatever it is, but point is it brings in so much of efficiency into doing work in marketing. So there is you're able to drive scale, you're able to drive efficiencies in a big way. And most of the data that comes from, or let's say content, what comes from ChatGPT, all you need to do is you still need humans to verify it, because modern tools, for example, Google uh, recognizes if it is AI generated content. So you need to humanize that content to some level, but still it sort of does 80% of the job. And it also gives you a lot of expertise. For example, earlier you needed SMEs to deliver content to you. So one of the biggest pain points for marketing was I don't find a SME who can give me this content to do this work. Today, you can actually go to ChatGPT and get all the subject matter expertise that you need to build that content. So that is the other part that's happened. And one of the things I also feel very strongly about it, sort of level the field. We are at a stage where, for example, there is an AI tool called Apollo, which helps you with um, email marketing, and there is a tool called Dripify, which helps you with LinkedIn connects, LinkedIn marketing. So these kind of tools are very inexpensive, and there are small companies, they are hitting the ground running by using these tools. And there are larger companies, what happens is they are stuck with tools like HubSpot or uh, Salesforce or whatever, and those companies are saying, hey, maybe it's making sense for us to use these kind of tools. Apollo or Dripify seems to work better and more efficient, and the small companies are already on it. So it sort of has leveled the game in some sense between startups and large companies in terms of the quality of marketing that they can bring to the table. And the other thing, and the last point I want to make, is it's also allowed marketing to become more efficient and also data driven, and which also means that there is a lot of accountability that has come into marketing. And there's also a lot of measurability that's come into marketing because of AI. So today you're able to measure everything, change your strategies on the fly, and you're able to also track how much of it is working, not working, and what is the ROI you're able to deliver on the ground. So these are some of my top level thinking on how AI has been transforming the game. The slides that I've put up, sort of basically tells how AI has now become a very integral part of marketing, and some of the benefits that it has been delivering to marketers and CMOs today. This is sort of my quick 2 cents.
Thanks,
You
Vinod.
guys.
And I think, it's important that you brought about a few of these elements about how, the jobs are now being more, made easy because you have something. It's not replacing anybody, but I think if somebody is not doing this, then they are left behind. So that's the point I would take away from your entire,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. And audience, if you have any questions, please do put it up on the chat window and we will take it up. I'd like to focus on the next speaker, Rishikesh Sande. And thanks a lot, Vinod. And I look forward to more questions coming and I'll share that with you. But yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, Rishikesh.
Sure. Thanks, Priya, for giving me this opportunity. Being an ex-Hookie and ex-Virginia Tech alumni, I think I'm really proud to be part of it. Can I get access to share my screen?
Yeah, I think Gayatri can provide you that.
Yes, it's done.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So just to give a different perspective, basically my background is construction industry. So I'm a civil engineer and primarily working in the infrastructure sector globally. So these are some of the areas which I kind of participate: townships, roads, water infrastructure. So what are the typical challenges which we face when we are dealing with these type of projects, which AI tools such as Chat GPT and other similar applications are helping us, making it better and more efficient. Data is always, so that data is something in civil industry and infrastructure industry is bit scattered. It's still not very organized, depending on where you're working. And when it comes to designs, we go with a lot of assumptions and uncertainties. We have to do a lot of research, which is time consuming, train a lot of staff to make sure that we deliver the right product. Technical troubleshooting, whether it is design, whether it is modeling, simulations. There are a lot of back and forth which we have to do before everything runs smoothly. And at the end of the day, we are trying, as we are growing this industry, we are also trying to use technology tools, so automate a lot of our processes. So from this, I'm just going to highlight some of the few opportunities where we are using these AI tools, especially something like Chat GPT. So one of the things is the references, as depending on where you're working, there are different guidelines and standards and best practices. So depending on what kind of infrastructure project you are working on, initially it used to take a lot of time just to find out what exactly we should be using. But I think with these tools, if we ask right questions, we are able to get that information very quickly. Like I said, technical troubleshooting, when it comes to running simulations, a lot of time we get some errors which are not very intuitive. Some errors are very, very difficult to resolve. So like I said, in the past, we have been using different search engines and old methods to figure out those errors. But with this new technology, we are able to get some directions very efficiently and resolve these errors very quickly and keep it moving. Automation codes, as we are using multiple stakeholders, there are multiple parties who are involved, so multiple inputs and outputs information is involved in there. So spreadsheets, Word documents, and all that. But uh, with the applications of using different codes and all that, we are able to connect some of these outputs together and kind of streamline it, make it more presentations have become much more easier because we are able to get a lot of information very quickly and more specifically in our discussions. Documentations when it comes to whether it is reports, sheets, preparing graphics. Graphics is something which we are recently we are exploring more frequently, where we are able to generate more customized graphic, where we don't have to use different photo tools, but I think using something like Chat GPT, we are able to go specific on different type of graphics or customize those graphics, which become very specific to our report content and becomes easy for the readers to understand. Risk assessment and management, we as part of our projects, we do a lot of due diligence and something like flood risk projects where we are doing assessment. So emergency management, we are able to find a lot of new methods, new solutions, new tools, data collections using these kind of Chat GPT applications. Sustainable practices, climate change is kind of everywhere. So there are a lot of practices globally available depending on where you are. Again, in the past, we were kind of focused more on the geography where we were working on. So the options were limited. But with this current tool, we are able to get access to a lot of new tools and new practices. Something like this, as you can see in the graphic, that's something we were able to generate it using some text in the application, and it gave us list of different images which can help us understand where you can use these practices. So this is kind of helping our teams to visualize more faster. At the end of the day, data analysis, we use a lot of data in different form of fashion. Is that it is input data, survey data, outputs from different design tools. So how to make them more efficiently available to the readers or the ultimate users. In the past, we were using a lot of different graphs and spreadsheets in general. So I think our presentations were a bit monotonous and a lot of back and forth, but with this new tools, we are able to get access to different methods, different approaches. We can also get more specific region-specific information. Sometimes just accessing the data, finding the data, even if it's available or not available, that used to take a lot of time. But now we are able to identify that also. So a lot of things which you can do with data, which we were not able to do in the past, we are getting exposed to those kind of items. In summary, what we have found out that this tool is not only just guideline, but it's very powerful. It's very useful if you are asking right questions to start with. I mean, there's always an opportunity where you can get lost, but I think as you use more, you also kind of learn, and we are seeing that the tool is also learning. So that definitely is very useful. At the end of the day, definitely, I think you cannot negate the human aspect. You definitely needs to be, you need to be skeptical about what the information you are getting, and you have to use your knowledge to validate the information provided. And yeah, I mean, I think probably this last statement is a little bit late. I mean, AI is not the future. What we are noticing, AI is the present. I mean, it's right there. Our industry is also adopting it and progressing it. So that's why I think the more we learn, we encourage our teams also to learn these tools. So I guess that's all I have.
Thank you, Rishikesh, and definitely coming from a Hockey, it's great to have you also here and share your experience in a different field. Most of us have actually used in, our day-to-day lives, like in marketing and content and all, but a perspective from you from a different world certainly helps students to think about how they should be looking at this, the present in a futuristic way. So any questions for Rishikesh, please put them on the chat window. And I'm going to switch over to Rashmi Murthy. Thank you, Rashmi, for being here and, and really enjoyed having all the guest speakers, but especially thanks to more power to women since I'm here. So I'm going to call out Rashmi for that. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya. Thank you to VT India and Priya for having me here. Good evening to everybody. So today I lead content and brand marketing in Kyndryl, which is an independent company since 2021. We were part of IBM until then. And I lead content and brand here. I would like to talk a little bit about just take a little step back, right? I think artificial intelligence has been around for a long time now. In its simplest form, it entered our homes in the early 90s in the form of a personal computer. Now, computers required programmers and coders who gave it a certain command or a prompt in a certain language, a computer language. And computers gave us back the output in a particular format or a language, which probably had to also be translated. Now, the way I understand the evolution of AI to these computers to ChatGPT is today we can talk to ChatGPT and give it prompts and commands in the simplest form in English and now in many other languages too. But for this purpose, let's say we speak to it in English and it gives us an output back in English. So how is this possible, right? This has been made possible because ChatGPT, the transformer, it has the ability to understand and utilize context, grammar, and natural language patterns. That is how it is able to speak to us in such a simple way. Not only does ChatGPT speak to us in grammatically correct format, but it also flows in a way that is very similar to human writing. It generates text which is very difficult to distinguish between a machine generated text to a human generated text. Now, as Mr. Vinod Harit showed us, the biggest impact of these new developments in AI has been on marketing in general and in specific on content and content marketing and brand marketing. Exactly what I do. So literally my job is on the block here, right? Let me speak a little bit about my domain, which is content generation, and how do we create content in the age of AI, right? There are huge advantages of AI in content generation. Obviously, the research part of it, the very first start of creating a content piece is research. Most companies have huge market intelligence and research teams that take hours and hours of time to do a lot of research to make sure that the data we have is authenticated, verified, etc. Now, ChatGPT is trained on large amounts of data, which enables it to access search engines like Google and many others, which means our research is done in minutes and given to us. Not only research, but also insights from this research is given to us. Another area of content creation and AI is ideation. If you give ChatGPT one prompt, it will throw you 10 ideas on how you can get started. So a prompter of ideas to get you started. For example, if you're writing a thought leadership piece, it'll throw you a huge amount of ideas on how you can start and how you can create this content piece. Improve existing content, SEO. It has a huge impact on how do you optimize content and digital engines optimization as well. It'll help you create, it literally can create a digital doppelganger, right? If I'm a writer, I feed a couple of pieces of my writing into ChatGPT, it'll analyze and understand my style of writing, the words I use, the flow of my language, and it'll actually create pieces which exactly copies my style. So you can create a digital doppelganger with ChatGPT. It can write copies, email copies, ad copies, social copies, variations of copies on website. It can literally do everything. The biggest part of content creation and using ChatGPT, or the biggest advantage, capability, is for its ability to generate personalized content based on your target audience. This is a very powerful thing for content marketers, because now we can create very much tailored messages and campaigns that is highly likely to engage our audience without batting an eyelid in minutes. Like, you can create personalized content. There are many examples of personalized content, but one of the things that I will tell you, which resonates with most of us, is Netflix. When you put on Netflix, it is actually showing you your own web page. It is your personalized, very much your own web page. It is showing you content pieces that you will watch based on your previous watching experience. It will suggest things for you to watch in the future because it knows those are the things that you're going to watch. It is highly likely that you're not seeing a lot of content on your Netflix page because Netflix knows that you're not going to watch these things. So this is probably the best and the most, an example that we all know of personalized content. There are plenty more. Literally every company is personalizing your content. There are no random email banners, no random pop-ups. Everything is tailored for you. It is meant for you. It is highly likely that you will engage with. Facebook, Amazon, $1 trillion companies are literally speaking just to you. You're not a data point anymore for these search engines. You're actually a unique individual with unique preferences and behaviors, and you're actually seeing a unique personalized content that you can consume. That is the power of AI as far as content generation is concerned. Now, all of this begs the question, then why do we still have content creators? Why do I still have my job? Obviously, there is another side to content creation using AI. There are many, and I think we have our panelists have touched upon those things as well. But for content, I think authenticity is probably the biggest factor. We want people to be authentic when you're writing a thought leadership piece or when you're posting a social message. It is your name there. It is your brand, your company's brand there. So it's your reputation at stake. You obviously want to be authentic. You want to be correct. You want to be factual. We do not know what kind of databases ChatGPT is accessing, how secure they are. So you may be inviting, as a company, you may be inviting search engine penalties, legal complications. So there is another side to using ChatGPT when you're creating content. There is sometimes a lack of not sometimes, but more hopefully all the time, a lack of emotional nuance, right? That is still with humans, hopefully. The ChatGPT or artificial intelligence does not capture the gamut of emotions, because every person who writes is a human being, comes with a set of experiences and learnings that reflects in your writing. So that is probably lacking in ChatGPT, which kind of again begs the question as to, is it worth it? Do you bring authentic value to the table? Those kind of things. Then there is a question of digital bias. If we had the time, I would have loved to conduct an experiment on digital bias. But machines are also biased because they're learning information all the time, and learning comes with a bias. So biases and misinformation is another risk to using ChatGPT in content creation. So with all of this, what does it mean, right? There are huge advantages. There are disadvantages as well. So the answer to this is a responsible AI. Most companies like my own, at Kyndryl, we have something called an AI council that oversees and kind of closely watches the use of AI. We use Copilot and we use it extensively in content as well. But we are doing it as responsibly as possible in terms of transparency. We are always watching the nature, the source, and the quality of data that we access, our AI models access. We are always looking at privacy and confidentiality. That's a huge, big thing for us. Safety, security, resilience of our system. How safe and secure are our search engines, and how are we using Copilot to access different databases? And accountability. So I think the AI in content creation is absolutely here to stay. That is how we are going to do marketing in the future. That's how we are going to create content and do branding in the future. However, I think the more education and training we get, the more enabled and empowered we become to use AI responsibly. So that's my piece. Back to you, Priya.
Yeah, thank you, Rashmi. I think you touched upon many things, and what caught for me is the being responsible, right? So that's important. And I think as corporate citizens and everybody, I think once we're responsible, any tool that we use actually produces results which are more responsible like us. So that's a key takeaway from your conversation, and also a lot can be done. You touched upon Copilot as well. Those are two important browser-based, automated chat GPTs that we could use. But I think like Xerox chat GPT stuck in our mind, and so there are many which are coming. So I think the entire session today would be about how and what tools and how are you going to give those prompts is something that's going to be conducted in the next 40 minutes. But thank you so much, all of you who have come here to be here and share your thoughts on this. And certainly we'll have another session more in detail because of paucity of time. We're trying to rush it, but definitely we will look forward to hearing from all of you and more about how to use it in our day-to-day lives. Thank you so much, Rashmi. And any questions for Rashmi, please do put it on the chat and we will have it answered. Even, we'll send it to you all later as a transcription. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shrikant and Mr. Narayan Swami.
Thank you, Mr. Ashwin. That was very insightful, actually. Learning about marketing strategies and how the world is evolving in ChatGPT was really insightful. And we look forward to have more of those sessions from you in future. Thank you very much. Now, let's move on to Mr. Nayan Swami. So this would be slightly technical, and he would be taking us in the ride for generative AI, prompt engineering, and a lot of use cases, how ChatGPT and other things are used. Over to you, Mr. Nayan Swami.
Thank you, Srikanth. My screen is visible?
Yes.
I think what you might want to do is your face is getting cut a little bit, otherwise it's okay.
You can just put your,
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
okay now?
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So, first of all, good evening, everyone. Thanks, Priya, Srikanth, and VT team. So, thanks for the speakers. And they also covered most of the nuances, and especially from marketing side, as well as really important thing was actually the construction side, right? Actually, that is also a really good takeaway. Yeah, without further delay, we can move on to the generative AI masterclass today. So today's session, actually next 40 minutes, we are going to cover what is generative AI and what is the impact of generative AI and the foundation of generative AI and generative AI architecture, brief on the prompt engineering. And so maybe actually 20 minutes, I'm going to have the briefing on maybe the concepts. So post that, actually I'm going to maybe showcase few use cases, right? Actually how ChatGPT 4 works, how DALI works, and how the OpenArt or maybe Midjourney and Runaway works, and how to generate the presentation. Maybe 5-6 takeaways for your session. So without further delay, actually we are moving on. So basically what is generative AI? So whatever current data science and our machine learning and deep learning problems are discriminative in nature. Suppose if we have data, we will be able to predict the value, either house price or stock price, or you are seeing double screen or one screen, Srikanth? Sorry, actually how to.
Yeah, I have one note screen also on the right-hand side. I know why. So
Yeah, sorry, actually I will change that. Yeah, now it's better, right?
yeah. Now it's clear. Now it's just one screen, full screen. I thought it was a problem with my screen. It was not. So yeah, it's okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so what is generative AI? Actually, so before getting into what is generative AI, right? Actually, so current problem what we have, either the supervised learning like regression or classification or segmentation, or the even actually for forecasting of this stuff, or all this actually maybe image segmentation or image classification, all this, or if you have set of inputs, and it will say whether it's a kind of predict some price, or it will say it's kind of what kind of object it is, or what kind of segmentation it is. It will not be able to provide much more, which is not having. For example, take about classification. We are classifying classification problems. So we have like spam email or not spam email. So right, actually maybe correct email, but it will not be able to generate a image kind of, maybe a similar fake email, or maybe something, or maybe correct email, right? Actually, so current whatever models what we have is kind of discriminative models, which will be able to predict the price, or predict classify the images, or classify the whether the person wearing mask or no mask, or partial mask, or something like that, right? It will not be able to generate something new. So then actually the generative model comes, actually, so it will be able to generate text, image, audio, video, etc. So how suddenly it was happened, right? Actually, so maybe a brief few slides available. Maybe we'll take it towards the end in the interest of time. And so as we rightly said, actually this generative AI models has been trained on this maybe multiple TBs of data, right? Actually, maybe the entire Wikipedia and maybe web scrap on the publicly available data, and that has been trained, and which is come in the form of ChatGPT 2, 3, and then 4. So the origination starts the path-breaking technology called attention is all you need, right? So earlier neural networks, which is which is kind of very CPU intensive and maybe very memory intensive and things like that. And the initial times, people are used the deep learning model fully connected. Then they also used something called hidden Markov model, right? Basically, the PhDs will be able to model it before 2010, right? Actually, normal person will not be able to do any NLP task or any image processing task. And 2010 actually slightly there is a shift, and then 2016 this attention all you need. With that paper is available. Please do read if you are interested. So with this, actually, the Chat GPT will be worked on text as well as images, and even actually after time progresses, we got something the multimodal also. So and maybe these are the few text-based LLMs, right? ChatGPT 4, Farm 2, Chinchilla, Jukebox 2, Lambda from Google, right? So here, this is from OpenAI framework, actually, which will be able to do, which ChatGPT 4 text-based LLM model, and even actually there is another model which is DALI, that's image-based models, right? Actually, which is trained on maybe billions of parameters, 7 billion, maybe some of the models actually, when they say parameters, the tokens, whatever they are creating it, and then the parameters. So then actually we have something called the generative AI image models, that is DALI from OpenAI, and the stable diffusion is a framework. It's not a model, actually it's a framework, and maybe the image and Midjourney and DALI all uses stable diffusion, right? Stable diffusion is a framework actually which is more or less curving the statue from the stone, right? Actually, which will remove unwanted stuff, right, and take the input from the text, and then which is coming through. So another important thing happened was BERT, bidirectional encoder representation for transformation. So this transformer architecture, which has encoder decoder. So input, maybe we can provide input as a text and get the image, or maybe input as an image and we can describe what is available in the image. So this is image model, pure image model. When it comes to Gemini Pro, actually from Google, that's a multi-model, actually, which will work with the same model, the same Gemini Pro will work images as well as text. That's how it's a multi-model stuff. So Google also has Vertex AI. It's a framework, right? Actually similar to OpenAI, but Vertex AI is a framework which is used for building the AI applications, right? Actually deploying the applications, maybe all the other stuff will be done by Vertex AI. Similarly, there is AWS, right? Actually, which provides Bedrock, and all the models can be invoked from there. So Bedrock is from AWS technology. That is works well with that, creating the model, deploying it. So basically, the JP Morgan provides the personalized wealth management solutions, right? And mostly the pharmaceutical company using for photorealistic image for new drugs research and development process, visualizing the drug and then the remaining process. And technology firms used Imagen or maybe Midjourney, Runaway. So these are the stuff has been used for generating the images, right? Actually for videos and things like that. Runway is the tool which is used for generating the video. Midjourney is generating the images. So before moving on, actually, I wanted to give the important perspective how it will work, right? Actually, what is the impact on Gen AI economic impact, right? So yeah, so Gen AI impact. So currently, which is the survey taken on July 2023, right, about 8 months back. So current potential of traditional machine learning, deep learning potential is about 11 to 7, minimum of 11 and 17.7 trillion worldwide. So with the generative AI use cases, which will be able to generate additional 2.6 to 4.4 billion, right, max of. So it's like almost like our Indian stock market, entire market cap is around 5 trillion now. So that's the impact the currently new generative AI use cases provides. But if all the worker productivity enabled with the generative tools, right? Actually, maybe having the assistants, right? Email writing, presentation generation, meeting notes taker, and also generating the code, etc. Then it will go up to 17.1 trillion to 25 trillion, right? At least so this is the impact what we have with this generative AI. It's almost double. If you compare with the minimum stuff with the maximum here, it is almost more than double. So that's the economic impact generative AI has. It's more because of quicker turnaround times and maybe completing the quicker POCs and then getting the quicker draft. And most of the cases, it will be able to do 80% work, right? And maybe 30% work only maybe the programmer need to do, or maybe the architect need to, or the marketing person need to do. So next, actually, this is a really another interesting use case, right? Actually, this area, right? Actually, there is no automation like building construction, groundwork, and maintenance. Maybe very few, maybe 10% or 20% can be done. Installation and maintenance, something similar sort, and the construction and extraction is that way. So it grows by the production and again the food process preparation, etc. And 10 to 49% AI is a complement, right? Actually, when we say computer and mathematical, and maybe the education and library, community, social media, legal, and sales. So that's how it goes. Where we have maybe displacements and all, maybe the legal and again actually the office administration and few other areas a little bit on that. So we can think maybe the good takeaway was AI is a complement, right? Actually, AI is a complement. Instead of fearing for job loss, it will increase our productivity. Maybe it may increase up to 50% to 70%, or maybe even some cases it's about 200%, right? Actually, it's 2x or 3x resources. That's how we can see AI as a complement. And wherever possible, actually, we need to keep using the AI and then maybe improve our productivity and time to market, whatever the stuff. Next, moving on to this, right, actually, generative tech stack, right? This generally has 4 areas. One is actually the deployment, either we can do it in Hugging Face or OpenAI, Vertex AI, or Bedrock. Bedrock from AWS and Vertex AI from Google, right? And then we also have a Hugging Face. So another area was the LLM frameworks to generate a conversational experience, right? Actually, maybe if the user is asking some query, that needs to be fine-tuned, or maybe we are not giving the proper prompt, or maybe there is some ambiguity. That can be that kind of stuff can be further asking questions, paraphrasing, all these things are done with the LangChain and Llama Index, any one of these framework. So that is something called retrieval augment generation, RAG. You maybe if you whenever we have gone through this OpenAI, this term will also come, RAG, retrieval augment generation. So RAG is a framework. It's about actually maybe it's about 10, 15 lines of code, or maybe, but actually there are strategies in place we need to do. And then actually the another component was vector databases, right? Actually Redis, Fincone, Trant, Chroma, Viviate. These are all the databases, vector databases, which is differing from the normal database in such a way that the text, see, computer sees as a text, not as a text, as we'll see, actually, which is seeing as a tokens, right? Actually, maybe the even binary, that's a number. So each and every word actually should be embedded. There is an embedding will be created. So for example, if you are creating an embedding for man, woman, king, queen, it is also maintained maybe like our mind map, which is creating the maybe the whenever we woman and queen is maybe short distance. Maybe if they take the numbers are very closer, and men and women were men and king was, which is also closer. So to give the perspective, actually the Google or even others, right? Actually, OpenAI actually they are created tick tokens. Initially, they created character level embedding. That didn't work, and then they created a word level embedding. Finally, they created lower dimension embeddings. So all entire English language has been tokenized 50,000 to 60,000 tokens. But there are some difference the way OpenAI treats and then the Google treats and similar things. Actually, we don't need to map that. That is available and we can use it readily. Then comes to the model and APIs, right? A closed LLM and open LLMs. Actually, closed LLM, ChatGPT 4 is a closed LLM. And similarly, Dolly is a kind of open LLM. It's open source LLMs. So image LLM, we can say Midjourney and DALL-E and other music. Meta AI provides music LLMs, right? And even Google provides MedPalm, right? Actually, MedPalm. The interesting thing was uh, generally these tools, maybe if medical professional, they can use their X-rays, or maybe they can provide the medical images, scanned images, and then they will be able to get the observations. So it is more or less matches, maybe 70-80% accuracy, right? But actually still further improving based on the training, maybe from the medical field to creativity field, actually maybe which is I use it for idea generation, mail drafting, etc., etc. So even actually we talked to some of our friends actually in Intel. Actually, they are saying this GPTs provides, LLM models provide architecture diagrams 70-80% accuracy. Whatever, maybe to get the initial draft, start the work, actually we may take 2 weeks time, but now that is done in half an hour or 1 hour time based on our prompt writing capability, right? So maybe we need to, the key takeaway will be, there are 4 things. Model, in these models, actually we can use from the site itself, we can write the prompt and get it. And this models also provides APIs. We can invoke the API and then we can integrate with our application. See, for example, if some of them will generate only PPTs, or maybe they're using for single use cases, they will be able to use it in the site itself. But if you want to bundle the application, if you want to provide the user experience with whatever this one for this needs, maybe you can integrate that. See, another important thing what we can think of was Google BigQuery, Snowflake, Databricks, even Oracle. They are providing natural language. If you can type the natural language, SQL query has been generated, and we will be able to get the data from the databases, right? Actually, that is also coming. And like quick sites, Power BI and all, providing the dashboards. From the dashboard, we can ask questions. Initially, we need to go through the PPT, go through the dashboard, and we have to find the insight. Maybe if you, after spending 2-3 hours, we will find some insights, and we'll ask some queries, and then somebody need to maybe write a query or maybe probably to provide. But now all these things are cut, right? Actually, it is provides the summary, whatever the very accurate summary, and then which is also provide the input about what are the anomalies, and if you want to do what if questions, it provides. We can converse with the dashboards, we can converse with the databases. That's a change. See, maybe we can relate this way. See, earlier times, actually, maybe the only PhD is able to do, or maybe hardcore programmers will be able to do. Then maybe the front end, back end programmers came in, or maybe low code, no code platform came in, and generative AI actually democratizing in a way we can write a plain English, right? And even there are language LLMs come in, right? And language LLMs comes in Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil. So all languages actually they started providing the language models. So more of democratizing the data. And near future, we will have language, even language level, we'll have the tool. The best part was actually it will be able to understand the regional differences. Okay, so here we need to understand four important aspects of it. One is the deployment framework, Google's Vertex AI, OpenAI, and then maybe Amazon's Bedrock and things like that. We can generate the application, which is, these are all no-code platforms. We will be able to generate applications quickly, maybe in an hour or two, like a chatbot, customized as chatbots, or suppose maybe another use case will be, suppose if maybe if you want to do the same prompt engineering with your organization data without putting in Vertex AI or OpenAI, we can use vector databases and we can upload our documents. Using the RAG, we will be able to do the enterprise level document search, right? Suppose organization has thousands of documents, and even we can build access level rights. So that will be done with vector databases. So, and again, these are all the frameworks what we have. So now quickly we are moving on to prompt engineering, right? The prompt engineering is the way to interact with LLMs, either image LLM or maybe text-based LLM or multi-model, right? And so there are different types of prompts available, right? Actually, we can structure, and maybe before moving to different types of prompting, the best practices, right? Actually, we have to be specific, and we have to be concise, and then we have to be diverse. Maybe there are single shot and maybe few shot prompts are available, and we have to be more relevant, and we have to be creative, and we have to be iterative and mindful. So basically, we need to define what is our role, right? If the person is marketing professional, we need to specify marketing professional. If the person is medical professional, maybe we need to indicate. Or if the person is a teacher, maybe we need to indicate. So accordingly, based on the context, it will be able to provide. So we need to give the role, and we need to give the proper instructions step by step, and we need to provide um, what is the output format, whether we want a detailed output or we wanted to have the very concise output or maybe summarization or maybe some other thing, actually that we need to specify. So basically we can go for open-ended prompts or conditional prompts, right? Conditional prompts actually only generate 55,000 words, sorry, 500 words or 50 words, right? And maybe interactive, maybe we describe main character, maybe some of the fantasy novel and about describe something. So this is kind of interactive. Maybe we can ask question and answer, right? And open-ended prompt actually maybe we can provide like this, right? So fine. Actually, now I will move to demonstration. Then probably we'll take further foundation and things like that. In the interest of time, actually, because we may extend another 10-20 minutes. So I will quickly move on to this demonstration, and then we can move on with back to questions or maybe whichever you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I set the context, right? Actually, first 20 minutes will be the basics, and then we will move on to the practical, right? Actually, maybe without giving anything, maybe we may not, without moving any, without giving the brief context, actually, we may not be able to go, right? Actually, that's what actually I set the context. Anyhow, that's fine. So now actually this is Chat GPT 4 actually, right? Actually, this is what actually we are going to use it for today's demonstration, right? Maybe I will ask a diet chart for myself, right? So it will be able to provide 2000 calories. Now probably I will ask for South Indian dishes. So some extent it will be able to pick up on the South Indian dishes too. Okay. So I am new to machine learning and AI. How do I start? So it will provide what are all things basically we need to learn, and even you can ask what are all the sites we can use, or maybe give me the example, something like that, right? So you can ask actually write a promotional video, or sorry, write a promotional message, or maybe you can put some text, and you can also ask what can be uh, give me the draft email, something like that, right? Actually, that is also available. So this is one way of maybe on the Chat GPT we can get the same thing can be used in API also through Python program. We can use it. Maybe I will show how this can be invoked from there also. Maybe you can use maybe if you log in with Chat GPT, we'll have Explore GPTs, right? Then we can use generate image.
Mr. Narayan Swami, one of the things probably you can also share with the members here is that how the LLM prompts are supposed to be given, right? Maybe that will also help them to give the right kind of an input. So, as an example.
Yeah. I will just go to that, right? 1 minute. Okay, so there are, this is the prompt guide. Maybe I'll share the link also. Maybe please do go through. Okay, what is about basics of the prompting, right? Actually, it's kind of very simple English. And what are all the elements of the prompt? I hope my screen is visible, right? The different screen, prompt engineering guide.
Yeah.
So, and then general tips for designing this one and examples of prompt, text summarization, right? And again, what is zero shot prompting, few shot prompting, right? And this will be the handy stuff. This all will work with 3.5, the free edition itself. So I will share the link in the chat so that actually please do go through. Okay, so this is on the Chat GPT 4, right? Actually, this will create an image, right? And even actually, we will also share how the maybe photorealistic image can be generated. So DALI will provide generate image like this, right? Generate. So basically this will have, maybe we can fine tune this. Similarly, the more you, maybe we can ask for photorealistic, right? Actually, or maybe if you know the camera tricks, how the images will be dealt, right? That actually then we will be able to give that as a prompt, and then we'll get more or less better images, right? Actually, so that is about DALI. Now I will go to the data analyst, right? Actually, there is something, if you go to this Explore GPTs, and there is something called data analyst, right? Actually, this, if you choose this, if you provide the file, maybe I will just take one of the file and then I will show how it works, right? Okay. So this is the movie data set, right? Please provide exploratory analysis for this data set. So it will open the file and then show the content, and then actually it will also provide some initial understanding. So how many columns are there, and what are all values, missing values, and some graphs. So this displays about the fields, right? And the data will be shown, and then this is also provides information about this data set. What are the missing values, summary statistics, and its observations, right? Actually, what is the minimum value, maximum value, and how the distribution looks. So any data set we can upload and then we can get. Actually, this is not available with the free version. Maybe we need to procure. Maybe it's about $20 or something for 4, and for 3 it's slightly less. Maybe we can procure for $10. 10 also will work. So we will be able to get this done. It's as simple as that. Actually, we need to upload the data set and then we can ask the questions. If you have any specific question also, we can ask. Right. So distribution of this thing. Still, it's analyzing the score, how the score is distributed. So budget versus gross revenue. And if you want to any particular column, you can also ask for questions. How the year wise things are moved, or maybe how the across the period it was happened. Right. So this can be done with data analyst. So most frequent genres actually, which is kind of going whatever take me into this. So for this, actually, we need to use data analytics, explore GPT, right? Maybe this, we can also ask specific questions, right? Actually, how the most frequent general drama, comedy, thriller. So this is kind of, maybe charts are as to see out of 30 genres actually, which are all most frequently used, right? Maybe we can ask year wise how this is kind of based on the Facebook likes, right? Actually, that is also coming in. That will also get generated. And again, actually the scores, things like that. So maybe these are the data set actually has been used. Quickly, I will move on to the interest of the time. I can move on to the code copilot, right? And that will be another interesting use case what we can use it. So similarly, there is a code copilot, right? Actually, here you can go, right? And you can upload any other file. Maybe I will use something called some other file, which is having information about laptops, right? Can you please provide, actually this is laptop system. Actually this data set is about list of laptops. And we can use this to build a recommender system, right? Actually, so this will be able to generate, and it works 80-90%. Most of the cases it works. Actually, there are few issues actually we need to do. Here, one cautiousness, like maybe we can take the example of robotics doing the surgery, right? Actually, whether it is correct or not. So there, what maybe the ethical thing or maybe really recommended was we can use robot, but actually something goes wrong, the physician will be able to fix it, right? Actually, we cannot put completely on robot, so physician would be able to do. So that's why it's a code co-pilot. We are the pilot. Those who are writing the prompt, they are the programmer, maybe they are or the architect or designer. They are, they should take care of it. Maybe they need to go through the code before productionize or something and understand the nuances. But actually, which is also good thing is actually which is also provide the explanation. What are all thing it does, how it works, right? So explain what is content based, maybe different things actually, which is also can be get it. So that you need to get it from Code Copilot. The same thing will be available in GitHub Copilot. You can use it. And another thing is this Colab, right? Actually, Colab also provides. Maybe we can ask simple questions, simple pieces, and then we can also get the code can be generated. Most of you using the Google Colab, also they can see that, right? So and maybe you can, there is a employee attrition data set. Maybe you can find out the attrition, right? This is a diff employee. Yeah, it's building the model for which has about 500 employees, right? Actually, some of the employees are quit, some employees are staying back. So based on this, actually, we'll be able to predict if another data set is given. Actually, we'll be able to predict whether employee will quit or not quit. So it will does all. Actually, maybe whatever standard operation it does. it builds the model, it standardizes. Data set, maybe we need to standardize, otherwise it will not work, because if the data in different scale, we need to standardize. So this is about code generation. It will be about 80-90% accuracy. You guys can use it. Right? Okay, so quickly I will move on to a few other model, and then maybe we can stick on how long we can take more.
I think we are running. We already overshoot the time, so I think maybe another 2-3 minutes, if that's fine. Or
Okay.
Maybe
voice. Hello. Otherwise, we can continue
I
also.
said we can ask questions also, because I think people also want to know questions. So it might be good to sort of open up for Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would also be there.
Actually, there's some questions which have already been asked, so I think we can start with that. Probably you can show this, and we can also.
Okay.
Put the question.
So maybe before moving on, actually, I will show this. Maybe the
I
image
think
use
one
cases.
which you wanted to show us about gamma, right? So I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. So instead of DALI, we can use something called OpenArt, right? Actually, that is also, maybe you can use it. Maybe we can give the image prompt. I gave my image and then kind of converted. We can upload the image, right? You can upload the image, and which is generating similar image, maybe with some variation, right? Actually, the fantasy, right? And this is a prompt, we can use it, or even we can write the prompt too. Here there is a way to write a prompt like DALI. You can try that. That is one way. And maybe if you go to openart.ai, there is a prompt book, right? Actually, you can download and you can use it. That is available. So this provides more information about this OpenAI prompt. Maybe those who are interested, right? Actually, they can use this. This interesting book, please do refer. Right, and anyhow, we can create it. Maybe runway is similar video generation, right? Actually, maybe I will just show one use cases, and then we can move on to the questions. Runway, actually, maybe we can use this to generate the video like this, right? Actually, we can use this elephant. Okay, this will take time. This is the prompt I have given, and it is provided this video. So video elephants playing on the jungle, right? So we can generate more. Maybe this is a way, actually, maybe you can use runway ML, right? Actually, there is something called runway ML that will be used for video generation. Midjourney is as similar to the DALI. Please try that, and maybe in the interest of time, we can use that. Okay. So so there are, maybe we can create from the blank, and we can import from the document. The only challenge is we cannot give the images, right? Actually, if you write something, the text, it will take, and then it will create visualizations, presentations. If you have anything on the Word doc, either you can use PPT or Word document or plain text, that will help. So that will be able to create. Similarly, for maybe if you want, you can use the new AI from blank document, we can do it. And another thing is, actually, you can use maybe from generate or maybe import file. If you have a text, we can give the prompt in the text itself. It will come like this. Maybe we can give the prompt, and then maybe it will also work out. So maybe we can go to maybe to create a template, right? Actually, I'm a senior professional. Maybe instead of data, maybe we'll use senior professional. Preparing for right, okay. So it will be we can make it detailed, right? Or maybe so we can also choose whether DALI or image generation or stable diffusion, right? Or at least that we can choose it, and we can continue, and we can okay. So basically, we can use either generate, or if you given our own document, we can use it preserve mode, or maybe if you give long text, we can use it condensed, right? And then maybe um, we can use AI images, etc. And maybe it is taking time. One minute. Okay, so basically, okay, it got stuck, but actually I will show some of the presentation what we generated earlier, right? And maybe if I try it again and then we can use it. So basically this is how the PPT is getting generated. If you provide a template, it will do right. It will do this is like given the content and it got generated. If we are not giving the content, it will give the outline, and we can fix the image. If you want, we can move the we can have that. So there is something called AI edit. Maybe we can add slides, or maybe per slide we can do the presentation, something that sort. And there are various options are available for choosing the content and basic blocks. Right, actually we can use charts similar to Excel. We can use these charts. So all these things are possible. And we can, when we use the presentation mode, it will work like this. And we can import the PPTs. We can export to the PPT format. And if someone have the Gamma account, actually we can use that as a maybe we can share the link. They will be able to. Okay. So yeah, with that, maybe we can move on to the questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Swami. I think what we have seen and what you explored in Chat GPT and the power what generative AI and a lot of AI tools have is something which needs to be explored, and there's a lot of things to study and a lot of things to learn what is coming up in the market. So as we
Yes.
move ahead, we have some, yeah. Thank you so much for the insightful lecture, Mr. Sami. I think it was very, very good. And we have a few questions which had come before also. So
Yeah.
let me just go from the top. Okay. If I miss something, you can also always unmute yourself and ask questions. So that's a provision right now. So
Yeah.
this is asked by Dr. Somin Kumar Roy. Um, how much AI tools are correct? How to verify the answers from AI tools? There are few questions. This is the first question what he asked. Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on the type of question, right? Actually, if the question is kind of factual information, it will we will be able to verify the correctness. Some of the APIs actually provides the link also where it takes the data. We can verify it. And here something is creative in nature, right? For example, if you give the 2 page or 5 page text, and if you ask to summarize, right, different person will summarize a different way. There is no exact right answer, right? Actually, so it depends on the problem. Maybe if you generate the image, if you generate the if it is a task is a kind of creating a task, creating the draft email, right? So maybe it's like we can take some of the ways, right? Actually, if it is a tabular data format, we will be able to verify the exact accuracy, right? Exact correctness. Whereas if the problem is slightly image domain, or maybe the creativity is involved there, and maybe to avoid this problem, what they are doing was human in loop, right? Reinforcement learning, human in loop. That's a technique they are using. Chat GPT, they are not put this model out of the box, right? And what they will do was actually before giving into the beta or something, some users will test and they will mark the answers, right? And they will mark the answers whether it's right or wrong, or not right or wrong, which is relevant or not relevant, right? At least some of the questions there is no right or wrong. There is whether it's relevant or not relevant. So that's how it will be taken. But there is a problem called hallucination, right? Actually, suppose if you are not giving the prompt in such a way that it will get into the kind of um, kind of unwanted answers or something like that. There is something called hallucination, right? Actually, that will be taken care. And there are something called moderation APIs. What it will does was the chat GPT will be provided for some specific purposes, right? Maybe if you ask the question in different domain, it will not answer, because sometimes that will be, it will generate on its own. That will be the problem. So there is something called moderation API that will be kind of tested. But always actually it's better to validate and move forward, right? That will be the key.
Thank you so much. I hope that has answered. So before we actually dive into the next question, just to value the time, I would like to also bring to your attention that there's an exciting opportunity what we have. What you're seeing just now is just a, I would say a trailer. The movie is different, as we say. So we have something which we do in Virginia Tech India. We have an advanced certification program, what we are doing on generative AI and business analytics. It's an 8-month experiential learning program where we teach different technologies, how they do what they do, and how industry really works on it. And it's more of an industry relevant program. What we say, we have a cap size of 30 students. What we intake, there's assessment exams, what we do, and then we take it. So if anybody is interested to learn more on these subjects, they can definitely enroll into it. So I just thought I'll just give you a heads up of what we are doing, and this is going to be a really a top-notch program, which is going to be delivered by faculties from Virginia Tech and across the globe, and industry experts. So it's a right time to get your exposure into it, and I think it will be good for everyone. Gayatri would be sharing some more information on this. So this is
Srikant, I wanted to add one point here. The certificates that the student gets at the end of completion of this course will be from Virginia Tech US. I think that's an important, takeaway from today when you're looking at all the, jobs that are currently available and what is going to be the future and the present. I think it's important to also learn your course from a global institution, which will help you fetch that kind of, upskilling to what you're doing currently, and also reskilling if you're not there, and constantly be updated with what's going to happen in the realm of technology. These are all very, very important for each one of you. I'm sure all of you know, and that's the reason why you're here today also to attend this session, because this will really help you to think where you have to add your skill and knowledge that you need to upskill, and retool yourself to be relevant, which is very, very current today in today's world. There was one story which I think Mr. Narayan Swami also mentioned earlier, is about this is not today, but the way the bridging of the technology that's happening is from 100 years was one kind of a technology, but after that, with all the changes, things are moving so fast, because last 7 years and now in every year there's a change in the way technologies are getting upgraded. So it's so important that we're all connected to what is going to happen and what is happening today. And I think with that, I leave the team to sort of give you more information if there's any requirement. But we're always here to help, and we will be doing this on a regular basis. And I also wanted to tell you all, if you join our social media links that has been provided, and after that, we have something coming up for if you're a student, if you're a professor, if you're a working professional, we have different kinds of offers for you. Please do reach out to the team. Okay. And that's from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, now let's, so if somebody wants to ask a question, they can unmute themselves and ask a question here directly. Absolutely no problem. Otherwise, I will read the second question which has been asked. Okay. So please unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay, there's a question by Rajamani Parmashivan. It is, can it provide real-time images? If yes, how will the images affect copyright issues if we use them for any business requirements such as company website development or something similar?
Okay. It will not provide copyrighted images, right? And it will not give the actual images in the case of privacy, right? I tried one prompt, right? American president voting in Indian election, right? Actually, what it was says was, okay, generally this will not happen, but however, we are they given American images background and then voting there. So if you look at the maybe what we this is kind of 5 to 6 hours workshop. Maybe I wanted to also give the perspective, right? Actually, within 40 minutes, we cannot cover entire stuff. So people also need to understand that, and without setting also we cannot move to the context also. So that's the reason actually we briefly set the context. But like Priya mentioned, right? Actually, this if you look at the development happened on NLP and image processing domain, it's a kind of story. See, one way we can have the mathematic thought years and years and months. That's one way. Another way is at least make someone understand how in the simple man's term, right? How that will happen. So that is what actually will be done in the regular courses. Maybe will be about NLP will take 3 to 4 hours of time and we'll teach the basics and then we'll demonstrate, right? And similarly, for image, we'll do that way. But to Rajamani's questions, right? Actually, it will not generate it will not give you the actual images. So I also briefly touched upon that is something called variational autoencoder, right? Maybe I show my image, right? Actually, if you generate with something, it will also add some noise and it will not give my own image as is, right? So if you provide the image, like we mentioned, actually there are two options. You can provide the image and you can generate images from there. That case, it's your own image. You should not use your any copyrighted images. But if you ask to generate, it will create near realistic images, not the actual person's image and any copyrighted material. Even some of the tools, it will all maybe in the Colab or maybe the Copilot and all, it will say this is a copyrighted material or licensed product. Use it cautiously. That caution, it will give the intimation, right? So if something is copyrighted, it will give the intimation. So by nature, it will not use the realistic image. It is getting the purpose itself. It is getting generated, right? Actually, maybe various techniques it is getting generated. So mostly this issue will not be there. Even in the videos, it will not take from the movies or something. It will whatever prompt you are giving from there, it will generate. So this will not arise.